judges can't be arrested, right? Wrong. I'm JJTP, a lawyer, not your lawyer, with a crazy story today about a judge who may be a judge in Massachusetts State Court Judge, Shelley M. Richard Joseph, and they also arrested her court officer, Wesley McGregor. So here's the quick and dirty in the story. I'm going to leave out some details to protect the innocent, but in March of 2018, a Dominican national, mi gente, was arrested in Newton, Massachusetts on drug charges. He also had an open warrant in Pennsylvania for drunk driving. They ran his prints through the fingerprint system, which happens in every single arrest. They found that he'd been deported 2 prior times, and he was 212 and eligible to be in this country. That's when ICE found out, and they put a detainer on him, even though this was a sanctuary city. Technically, it was ERO, enforcement and removal, but that's another story for another day. This is where things get interesting. So he was appearing before Judge Joseph on those charges, and I don't think I'm giving away any TTP when I say ICE was obviously going to be there to pick him up. When Judge Joseph heard about this, he worked with the prosecutor and the defense attorney to have some of the charges against the defendant dismissed so they could be released on bond. Then she had her court officer escort him downstairs to the basement and had him sneak out the back door, where he hopped the fence and promptly was arrested again the next month. All this while the ICE agents were still waiting in the courtroom to arrest him. This got back to the director of ERO, which then got back to the director of ICE the same day, and they were furious with her by name. And trust me, I have experience. When the director is mad at you by name, you will be punished. So what they did was they sought the U.S. Attorney's assistance in having her prosecuted, and they convened a grand jury. Ultimately, the grand jury had a true bill, and she was indicted for obstruction of justice. Judge Joseph sought to have the indictment and the federal charges quashed by filing a motion to dismiss to the federal district court, which denied her motion. She then appealed that denial to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit, which also denied her motion, clearing the way for her to be prosecuted unless she appeals to the U.S. Supreme Court. So, as of now, both Joseph and McGregor are charged with obstruction of justice and several aiding and abetting charges. Joseph faces up to 20 years in prison, and McGregor, he faces 30 years because he has an additional perjury charge. This is an example of the Supremacy Clause, which can be found in Article 6, Paragraph 2 of the U.S. Constitution, which says that federal laws take precedent over state laws. So keep that in mind next time you go. Just saying. Note from the lawyers, this video is based on the laws at the time of taping this video and does not constitute legal advice. You should always consult with your own attorney before taking any action, with the exception of liking and subbing so you can hear more legal facts like